Welcome back to Dangote Reviews. Today we are at Sifao Motors at Toyota and we are reviewing this beauty right here. This is the 2023 Land Cruiser 300. And I'm telling you, today we're going to see so many things about this car. Watch the video up to the end, like the video, subscribe to the channel because I'm going to show you so many things and we're going to play a game. We're going to count how many speakers this car has and you will be surprised. You're going to count one by one as we go on, okay? So let's start with the front. As you can see, the grille is really huge to let in that massive air that is required to cool the radiator and for the car to take in through the engine. It is split into the ones at the side here, you can see on the sides, and then the big one in the middle. This car has daylight running lights and I'll show you when those are in operation. These are the ones you are seeing here. When the car is running, whether it's day or night, they will be on to give visibility to other drivers that are on the incoming traffic. And you can see the big lights are split into three. These are super bright and they do not affect the driver who is coming in the opposite lane, hence maintaining really good safety. We have the fog lights at the bottom here. If we go to the side, you will see that the profile of this car is really beefy. It is an off-road car. It is a car that can handle the city and I think you will really enjoy it. So let's look at these wheels. These are alloy wheels that come directly from the factory. The car has a stepper where you can step when you're entering the car because it is really high, so this is really necessary. And look at this. We have blinkers on the mirror. And when we come all the way to the back, you'll see that the profile of this car on the side is really big and really beautiful. So when we come to the back, we can see that this is the Toyota Land Cruiser 300 with our Toyota logo here. It has different trims, but this particular one is the VXR. Now let's see those lights. And that's how the lights look when they blink. You have a hitch here where you can attach a trailer. This car comes with different modes and it is able to detect that you have a trailer and it will adjust the controls of the vehicle to be able to accommodate that. Now we've seen the outside, but let's go on the inside and see how it looks straight from the driver's seat, and then we shall see if you buy it and you have a driver, how do you feel when you're seated at the back. So once I get close to the car, it has the auto alarm of Toyota, and if I don't have the keys and I try to tamper with it, it will ring the alarm. But in this case, I have the key right here and I'll open it. The moment I open it, remember these are set at automatic and they'll be able to open by themselves. So let's go inside and see the different controls that this Land Cruiser has. Look at this Land Cruiser, very beautiful. Okay, so before we enter, you'll see that at the door we have different controls and I'll tell you what these are all about. We have the controls for the power windows. Using these buttons, we can control the mirrors, the positions. Now it is set at automatic. That's why when we close, the mirrors close, and when we open, the mirrors open by themselves. But we could make it manual, or we can keep them closed. We can close them manually as well. Then we have these. So this we call it seat memory. You can set the different seat orientations for the different drivers you have. For example, I could set for myself, my wife and my driver here. It is very easy to set. All I have to do is to set what is comfortable for me using these buttons and then click set. It will save it, and every time I sit in the car I can select, the car will remember which seat orientation is best for me. Okay, now we have visibility of everything that the driver can see. When I get this key and I place it right here, the car will detect that the key is on the inside and I'll be able to start This car is push to start, so that makes everything really easy. You see we have our different controls here, and how you start the car is you just click this button here and the engine will be able to start. But I'm going to show you how the gauge cluster looks later on. For now, let us first concentrate on the steering wheel. It is just a good size, and the fact that the seat is adjustable, it allows me to enter very easily. We have controls here. If let's say you're on a highway and you're driving at 80 kilometers per hour and you want to maintain that speed, you just click this and the car will remember which speed you're at. You can increase, okay, or reduce the speed using these buttons without really stepping on the accelerator. We have other buttons here for receiving calls, ending calls, talking, you know, reducing the volume, increasing the volume. So you control the media, but also you control your phone calls from there. Then on the side here, down here, let's get the camera there. So right here we have different buttons, and I'm going to show you what each does. This one here opens the boot at the back. That one there is for what we call traction control. The car will be able to control the traction of the tires in the different modes in order to keep you driving safely and doing what you need to do. We shall come to the center bit and look at the different controls that we have. We have our screen here, which is able to do Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. We have the different buttons in here. We have our media control using these tactile buttons, and I think this is a very good touch for a modern car like this. Don't go all digital, maintain the tactile buttons because most people have them. This car has heated seats, and where you see buttons like this, you know you can switch on the heated seats. You can make it hot, you can make it cold, you can make it automatic. You have the automatic controls here for the climate controls. So we have our gear selector here. It is really a modern one, and you can see it doesn't take up so much space. We can select the different gear modes, the different drive modes here, and also select the gears manually. Now I'm going to show you something about this. You can select the modes in which your car is driving using this button, and you can control very many things using that button. But before we get there, I'm going to show you the obvious things that do not need the car to be switched on for us to go into that. So this button here locks the differential in the middle. So for example, if you are on a road that is slippery, remember each tire, the cars are designed in a way that each tire runs at its own speed. Pressing here will lock all the tires to run at the same speed. And once you have done that, you will realize that it is a bit hard to turn when you have locked the differential. So this one, this turn assist will help you in turning. Then we have other controls here, like the crawl, the DSC control. This is descent assist control. When you are on a slope and you want the car to be able to slope on its own without you doing all the work, the car can do that for you automatically. And it can also crawl if the road is so bad and you feel like you don't have much to do. Just click control and the car will drive at a very slow speed while maintaining all the automatic operations under the hood. All you have to do is steer and the car will take you to safety. Now this mode selector can help also on the multi-terrain support. This is multi-terrain support. Once you have clicked multi-terrain support, the gear selector will help you in snow, in dirt roads, on sand. The car will be able to sense all that, and it will help you maintain the speed and the controls required to go through those harsh conditions properly. We have a wireless charger here, so you just place your phone. If your phone has a wireless is enabled to charge wirelessly, you just place it here and click here and it will charge. It will charge. I've tested it with my phone and it works perfectly. And then we have cup holders right here, as you can see. Then we have more storage down here, but this is excellent. This is different because it's like a mini fridge inside this car. So if you look from this side, you'll see that we can press here and be able to open. Yeah. Now let me show you something else. On the side of the driver, you can also press. On the side of the driver, you can press and it will open up. So it opens from both sides, and I think Toyota used a lot of ingenuity in designing this. So we call it the cool box because it has air vents in here that work with the climate control. So if you have hot drinks in here, you can place them here and you will maintain the temperature by just adjusting here, clicking on the cool box, and it will be able to maintain the temperature. If you have cold drinks in here, it now acts like a fridge. It will maintain the coolness of the drinks just by using these air vents here. It's like a fridge inside the car, and that is a luxurious touch. Toyota, thank you for that. Okay, so we're going to count the speakers in the front. Remember, we have a speaker counter. We have one right there and the opposite one on this side of the driver. So there we count 2. We have others down here, so plus the one that is this side. Now those are 4. Then we have another one up here and another one here, another one this side as well. So those are 6, 7, 8, and those are only the ones that are in front. Imagine 8 speakers on the front. So what if we go to the back? And before we go to the back, there are some we haven't counted. Look at this. We counted this, yeah? So 8, 9, 10 on the other end, 10 there, 11 here. So those are 11 speakers just on the front before we go to the back. Now let's go to the back and we see what this car has for us. But before we go to the back, of course, I want to show you how the odometer looks. So let's switch it on and we see what this car has for us. So when you do this, look at this. So it will light it up for us, and this is how it looks. It's really beautiful. Oh my god. Oh my god. Really good, really good. I really love it so much. Okay, so here we have seen that, but if you go ahead and look at this, if you go ahead and do this, you see you can select between the different driving modes. You have eco, you have comfort, you have normal, sports, and sports plus, sports plus, and custom. Custom is where you adjust the thing yourself. And you see here, I'm using this wheel to select these controls, these modes, yeah? So, but then if I go ahead and click this multi-terrain support, if I click multi-terrain support, then this one changes. Then I have auto, I have dirt. Auto is where the car will be sensing and then changing on its own. But I have the dirt, I have sand, I have mud, I have deep snow. I think you can agree with me that this car has been built with off-roading in mind, and it is really, really an advanced car in terms of technology. It has 4 cameras surrounding the car. So when you put, let's say, in the reverse gear, you will see that you have visibility of where the car is, everything surrounding the car, and then the car itself, yeah, and then the back itself. And I think that is an extra touch that is welcome very, very much. Then other controls that I didn't show you, this one here, you can lock the 4-wheel or not lock the 4-wheel. If, let's say, you are in traffic and you don't want to keep stepping on the brake like I am right now, you can just click hold. You know, when you're in traffic and the cars are not moving, you just click hold and the car will just hold for you. And then when you click here, it will start moving again. We have an electronic handbrake here with this. Once you click it, it will put the handbrake for you. And I think all those things are things that Toyota has really thought of. Safety in mind. These cars have safety as the first priority because the airbags are everywhere. Look at this. There are airbags here in the visors. There are airbags in the seats. The airbag for the other side is in the seat. There should be a tag somewhere here. There's a tag, I don't know if you can see it there, but I will show you the tag. There's a tag here showing the airbag on this side. If in case you get into an accident, we have an airbag in the column up here. We have an airbag in the column. We have an airbag in the seat. We have airbags all over to protect you. So safety is really front and center of the design of this car, in the design of this car. Now let's go to the back and we see if you are a boss and you have a driver, how would you feel being in this car? Okay, how would you feel? First of all, look at this. I'm sure politicians are smiling right now. Politicians are smiling, saying, wow, 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 this is our thing. Now, to be able to access the back, all you have to do is to come and open this here. And you'll see that I had bent this, but this is easy. All I have to do is to go and change these controls here. Let me show you. For the seat. So all I'm doing is this, and the seat is coming back automatically, driven by motors until where I need it, and that will be all. And then I can come to the back, and at the back we have screens here, the infotainment screens, and we have a bunch of controls here for the person who sits at the back. If you can see here, I'll tell you most of the things. We have wireless earphones, connections for wireless earphones, so the people seated at the back could be enjoying different kinds of entertainment, but because the car has options for each person, I think this is a nice touch, most especially when you have kids. You know how they like different forms of entertainment. And then we have USB Type-C here, 2 of them, USB Type-C for charging your phones. We have climate control, the heated seats at the back as well. Basically, this car comes tailored to the person seated at the back. And if you want to put a child seat in here, that has also been provided for. All you have to do is open here like this, and then you have hooks here where you can tie your child seat, and it will be well accommodated in this car. We have air vents up there for climate control at the back here, and then of course lights in the center and grab handles, as you can see there. We have an armrest if you do need one right here, with some cup holders also installed in the armrest. Now let's check out the boot and we see how big the storage is. But before we go to the back, let us count the speakers again. 1, 2. So if you come to this side as well, those will be 3 and 4. So we have 4 speakers at this stage. But that's not all. Another speaker right there. Okay, so there's another speaker right there, as you've seen. So let's go to the back and then we shall count. Let's count this while we are still here. So there's 1 here, 1 here. Here we had counted 4, so now those are 6. So at the back, this is how it looks, but you'd be worried on how you will open this heavy tailgate. But they have thought of that and they've made it automatic. You see we have our camera here. Once you click here like this, the boot will open by itself. It's really heavy, but the car does the work for you. The car does the work for you and it makes it really easy. We'll start by observing that we have 2 extra seats back here. So this is a 7-seater in total. 2 people in front, 3 people in the middle, and 2 people at the back here. These seats, lifting them up, you use these to lift them up. You just use these buttons here. You have a charger here, a USB Type-C, and then a button for lifting the seats. You have the same at the back, the other side. So that way you don't have to use a lot of energy. But in order to do that, you have to first remove this cover. This cover is used to cover the stuff you keep in the boot, for example, or this is how you pull it. And once you've kept your luggage here, it will not be visible to anyone who comes and tries to see it through the window at the back, okay? But once you remove it, you can be able to lift those chairs at the back, and you don't have to use a lot of energy because there are buttons for that. When you come to Sefao Motors to get this car, they give you a complimentary triangles, 2 of them, one for the front, one for the back. Now let's check out the other storage down here. So we have the tools to help us change the tires. All of them come included in this car. We have these hooks here, these places where we can tie our luggage in order for it not to shake around at the back. But then we also have a full pot like the one you would have in your house, an AC 220 volt pot, 100 watts. And I think that is a welcome touch. That is a welcome touch in this car. If you don't want to use these buttons here to lift these seats, these ones here, you can use the buttons right here. These are accessible to you and you don't have to lean over so much. These are just accessible. Back to the speaker counting, we have another one here, and then there's only one on one side. So add that to the number. We can see the counter here on the screen. We shall close the tailgate, but if you observe the tailgate here, you'll notice that there are more speakers here. There's one here and another one here. So 3 in total at the back here. All you have to do to close it, just click here. And it will close for you. The reason it beeps is because it beeps because of safety. If there's someone that is blocking the path of this boot, it will stop. Let me demonstrate that. So we're going to open it again, and then we shall block it while it's trying to close. So let's say you've closed the boot, but then there's someone, maybe a child, trying to cross here. You'd be worried that the boot would crush them. But I'm going to sacrifice my hand now and try to block it. And you see it has stopped because it has sensed that I am there. And this is an added safety feature for this car. And then I can go ahead and close it now. So it will open to let the person get out. And once you click it again, it will close. So let's say you are coming from the supermarket and you're holding stuff. John Silver here at Sifao Motors is going to demonstrate for us how you open this boot, this tailgate, without touching anywhere. You just use your foot, just wave it somewhere around there. Yep. Just like that, and the car will sense it and open for you. Then you can place your luggage in there. Let's say your car is dusty, you've been off-roading and you don't want to touch anywhere. You just close it just by using your foot. That way your hands remain clean and you can enter the car without dirtying your hands. So let's check out the bonnet and let's open the bonnet and see how the engine looks overall on the outside. So this bonnet is really heavy, but they have thought of everything. The moment you lift the bonnet, the car will lift it for you. So you don't have to worry that the bonnet is too heavy, you cannot lift it. And you can see how beautiful it is here. Toyota has thought of all the aesthetics that are required to keep this car looking beautiful and easy to maintain. Okay, so I'm going to show you the spare tire and then show you how to access it. So the spare tire is at the bottom of the car like this. In order to be able to access it, you use the tools that I've just showed you, but how you access the point where you open it from, let me show you. There's this cover here. All you have to do is to open it, and then you will use the tools and enter them in here. The tools that I showed you that were here, you enter here and you are able to lower the spare tire and then replace the tire so easily. They have thought of everything because this is an off-road vehicle. It must have a spare tire. If you have any more questions, post them in the description below in the comment section. We shall answer them. And if you really liked this vehicle, leave a like. You can come to at Sifao Motors here in Kampala and check out this vehicle. Seeing it is free, entering, sitting in it, and envisioning yourself in it. I think that is the way to go, and you can do it because it is available for you. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on this video, subscribe to our channel, because we're going to bring you much more content. Thanks. So I'm going to post the specifications in this last section of the video.